1963 Ford Galaxie Convertible. Well, at least part of it. The frame. This is my friend Pete's car. He did all the work on this. Looks great. Did a really nice job. We're getting ready to drop this engine in, which was in his old 62. Going to need to modify the cross member for the C6 transmission. And other than that, should be plug and play. Let's get started. When I first put this engine together, I think I made a mistake. I have the intake off now. I'm starting to do some different things, dress it up, make it a little nicer than it was. We're changing out the oil pan. But I wanted to take the time to degree the cam in. When I fired the engine up, it sounded fine, sounded good. You could hear it in one of the previous videos that I made of the fire up and of the assembly. But it just didn't seem quite right as far as timing went. You'd shut it off and it would run on, diesel, whatever you want to call it, pre-ignition, post-ignition. And that was a problem. You know, I had to turn the idle way down, and then it would stop doing it, but the carbs were never set right to the way I like them to be. And I always told Pete, the owner, that once you get everything together on his 62 that we put the engine in, I'm going to get it back here and go over cam timing. So now I have the perfect opportunity to do that. So what I'm going to do is first pull the front apart on this engine, and we're going to check the cam timing. Our measurements ended up coming out to be 58.5 and 49.5, which gave a total, when you add them together, of 208. To degree it properly and find the intake center line, you divide that number by 2 and you come up with 104. 106 degrees intake center line is what this camshaft is supposed to be, but at 104, it's actually advanced 2 degrees. I'm beginning to think it might have been an ignition issue. Carburetors might not have been very good. That will be something that I look at as well. But I think right now we're going to stick with where it's at, 2 degrees, advanced. I like it because it gives it more low RPM torque, and when we're running the 2 4-barrel setup like it has with the tunnel wedge, I think that will help the engine out on street drivability. As you saw, I like to lay a bead of silicone around the ports and run it down to seal off this area where oil passes through along the outside of the head there. A little extra insurance to keep any leaks at bay. Normally what I always do is to use a cork gasket on the front and back of what they call the China wall. I don't like using silicone unless I have to, because unless you properly torque the intake, it ends up sometimes putting extra pressure on the bottom of the gasket. And as you might have seen, or maybe you've seen it on other engines, somebody posting stuff online or whatever, sometimes guys will have leaks, and you'll see that this bottom of the gasket was crushed. Generally, that's because they didn't use the cork gasket on China wall. That gasket helps hold that intake from dropping down too low. If it drops too low, it puts more pressure on the bottom of the port. At least that's what I've found with my many years of doing this and fixing intakes that have started leaking because someone never used the China wall gasket in the first place. But with this intake, I can't do that. I'm going to have to use silicone. So I'll lay a bead along here and along the front, drop my intake on. I'm going to always use a distributor to center the intake on the engine and then put my bolts in. And what I'll do, I'll torque the bolts just like Ford did in order to ensure I have even clamping on everything. I'm not over tightening something and pushing down further than what I actually need to be. And I'm also going to put a bead of silicone around here, just a real super thin bead around each water port while I'm doing the China walls in front and back. In that diagram, you can see it recommends a torque of 32 to 35. I think I'm going to stick to 30, all even all around. And you also saw the torque diagram, center, then go to the outer, then these in here, the inner. I don't like doing it that way. I prefer to do the inner and work myself from the inside out. That's my preference. It's worked for me. You may do something different, and if it's worked for you, awesome, keep doing it. It's just the way I like to do it because I've had success with it. After assembling the rocker arms, tightening everything down, I double checked the zero lash plus half a turn. We're set. This convertible originally came with a Cruise-O-Matic behind the 390 that was originally in the car. We're putting this 445 in, and obviously we're going to upgrade that. We're going to a C6. C6 does not bolt in to a 60 through 64 chassis, if I remember correctly. Definitely none of the early Galaxies, it won't bolt in. So what I'm going to do is lead you through step by step on how I'm going to make that happen. Step one, you get a 2242, actually a 2242 mount for a 67 Galaxie with a 4-speed. Second, you have to along these holes, you got to slot them a little bit because the C6 has a little bit narrow of a pattern on the transmission mounting pad. Step 3, bolt the mount to the transmission. Next step, take the factory cross member, slide it under and bolt it right to the transmission mount. See, that mount cradles the original transmission mount perfectly. This frame is unlike any of the hardtop frames that has an X member in it. The transmission mounts to that X member. These, these are the tabs that were originally welded to that X member. What I did is cut them off, and we're going to move them back. It's approximately about 6 inches. Making this a permanent modification. So there will be no Cruise-O-Matic going back in this car ever again, which is actually a good thing. All right, that's right where the mount will end up. I think what I'm going to do is end up notching this area and clearancing it back to fit into this area here. Follow along in the excitement. I'm not a professional welder, but that should hold. All right, cue the haters in the comments blasting me for my horrible welding. Go ahead, I can take it. That'll do it for the 63 Galaxie convertible frame and engine install. At this point it goes off to Bulldog Customs, and they get to finish this car up. Should turn out to be a real nice piece once it's all finished. Once again, thanks for watching this exciting episode of My Dirty Garage. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.